You are about to embark on one of the most intriguing classes you will ever have, research methods. You will be married to your topic for the rest of the semester, so pick a topic you find interesting and would like to study further. Qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods are the three types of research we will look at. Quantitative research is just what it sounds like. It counts numbers, age, number of times you've been involved with a professional, any countable variable. A simple yes or no answer is one of the limitations of qualitative studies. Without the elaboration of a qualitative study, the results you get are weaker with just a quantitative study. But they are strengthened by the researcher's ability to replicate your data. Descriptive research is just what it says. It gives you a description of how things are at the current time, a snapshot, if you will. Correlational research is research designed to discover relationships among variables and allow the prediction of future events from studying the past knowledge of it. It will recognize trends in data, but does not go as far in its analysis to prove that you're making an observed pattern. Causal comparative has no manipulated variable and is strictly observational. However, a quasi-experiment will have a manipulation of some kind. Causal comparative and quasi-experimental research attempts to establish cause and effect relationships among variables. These types of designs are very similar to true experiments, but with key differences. An independent variable is identified but not manipulated by the experimenter. The effects of the independent variable is the measure that is studied. Experimental research: the researcher follows a manipulation of a variable and measures the influence that manipulation has. Experimental research, or true experimentation, often uses the scientific method to establish cause and effect relationships among a group of variables that make up a study. True experiments are any study where an effort is clearly made to impose control over all variables except one. A few personal experiences for class. If you're having trouble with referencing, try Scribr. Some instructors may not agree with that, but most agree it makes our work better, and sites like this should be utilized as a learning tool. If you're not familiar with Google Slides, making s'mores, or posters, you should look at those things now before you come up with assignments due. And check out the different formats to do your work. They're pretty straightforward. Okay, so back to the technical stuff. Qualitative data interprets, describes, and refers to language. For example, if there is a survey given and there is a follow-up call for more information, the answers from that call are qualitative, while the first part of the survey was quantitative. Combining the two adds up to mixed methods that bring the methods together to make for a robust study and more complete answers. There are four types of qualitative research: historical studies, phenomenology, grounded theory, and ethnography are types of research that are used in the qualitative vein. This sounds more complicated than it is. Take historical study, for example. That's easy enough. It studies the history of the phenomenon you're studying and any variables that may come into play. Phenomenology studies phenomenon and people's reactions to phenomenon. Grounded research is research grounded in theory, that is theory on top of theory from proven methods. Ethnography must be the most fun design, as it is to incorporate yourself into a culture to further learn about that culture. Say a person wants to learn about Hawaiian fire dancing, so they go to Hawaii and immerse themselves in that culture. That'd be nice considering Michigan snow. Interviews, where the researcher questions the client and fills in gaps quantitative studies do not. For example, you go to the doctor and fill out a questionnaire about the service there. A few days later, someone calls you to clarify and expand on your answers. The answers are qualitative. Focus groups are a chosen set of individuals, 8 to 10 people, that you share an experience and are quizzed on that experience and how they have been helped in the past to further their goals. Case studies will be used throughout the semester. They are studies that have made it into research and their cases are considered unique, such as the case of J.M., the man that had a railroad spike go through his head and brain, and the effects that caused in terms of behavior and what effect it had on his life in general. Strength of qualitative research are that you get more robust answers and more insight to your topic. You get to deal with more complex issues. The weakness, however, the data does not fit into neat categories, and it takes a lot more work to gather and categorize the information. Okay, other than that, keep up with your paper. You'll turn in the same paper every week when you receive feedback from your instructor. I would make my week by week revisions and follow the feedback the professor gives you. That way at the end of semester, when you have a big paper due, you have it already and you don't have to worry about it, because these papers are long and you're not going to be able to do it all in a day or two. This is a time-consuming class and there's a lot of repetition, but use the tutoring portal. They're great proofreaders and give you ideas for your assignments. And your class is also a great resource. You can ask them questions and they'll be more than glad to help you most of the time. With patience, attention, and close attention to the rubric and assignment summaries, you should be fine.